Virtue signaling vanity projects are out, and money-making entertainment is in Warner Brothers as TV Workshop and Stage 13 shut down as part of WBD cuts. Layoffs are underway at Warner Brothers Television Group Tuesday. The cuts include closing of digital short-form programming division Stage 13 and famous Warner Brothers Television Workshop, which has been around for more than 40 years. Stage 13 was founded in 2017. Interesting timing, no? After the upheaval of 2016, that should tell you a little bit about Stage 13 and exactly why it was created. Under the former Warner Brothers Digital Networks division as a studio for original digital short-form programming. Now, we're going to get more into this particular paragraph in just a minute. We are about to witness just how intersectional and interconnected this big club really is.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Current 2022-23 edition of Warner Brothers Television Workshop will be its last for both Writers Workshop and Directors Workshop. Both have been a popular and sought-after avenue for training emerging writing and directing talent, with Regina Keene directing and Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power executive producer Justin Doble among the alumni. That's one of their brags, folks. Amazon analysts can't stay awake to properly review the show and give their feedback and pros and cons and how they see this forecasting as far as revenue and cost to benefit ratio. But we're going to brag on one of the executive producers coming out of this workshop. If you have followed anything that I've done, Rings of Power is a mess, and that's putting it mildly and kindly. So let's pop back up here. The division was run by Diana Moglina, Senior VP and General Manager. Well, let's go check out a little bit about Diana. In my opinion, we're all multidimensional. We have 1,000 passions and stories to tell. Well, that's very intriguing. Let's see what she's got to say. I knew it was time to activate my superpower, so I joined the team at Fox, diving into explosive U.S., Latino, and Latin American international markets in a significant way. This was a dream come true. The incredible work, passionate colleagues, and opportunity to grow personally and professionally while proving that diverse audiences were not a random niche, but an extremely powerful demographic. Keep this in mind, folks. We're gonna hit something later that's gonna make you go, wait a minute. Mentors such as Neely Galen and Don Brown helped guide my career as I continue to tap into my superpower as an entrepreneurial, independent producer, programmer, marketer, NBCU corporate executive, and GM running the popular cable network for young Latinos, MUN2. These memorable experiences have anchored my career-long dedication to ensuring everyone feels included and represented, both in front of and behind the camera across all cultures and identities. As GM of Stage 13, a 6-time Emmy Award-nominated original content studio under Warner Brothers' umbrella, my primary goal is to shepherd our commitment to storytelling that reflects humanity as it really is. Endlessly diverse and always evolving. Except the diversity that they focus on and that they care about is not the diversity that matters. Our mission is not just to amplify non-traditional voices, but to meaningfully connect with audiences that are fast-changing, even more diverse, and cross-cultural in their tastes and interests. Year after year, studies show that more people identify as multiracial and multi-ethnic. Yeah, that's because you keep forcing this stuff on them. You guys are putting this stuff in their heads and then getting the feedback you want and then spitting that back out as foundation for your original claim. You can't do that. That's not an accurate way to do any type of scientific method or gather any type of data. You're rigging the game and getting the answer you want, or you're pushing until you get the answer you want and ignoring all other data. It's not honest, it's not authentic, and it isn't what people want. Audience interest and appetite for diverse and inclusive content has long been growing, and now has entered into mainstream conversation, not just in the US, but worldwide, creating a surge of demand. Again, your entire operation has just been shut down to save money because it was losing money. But let's continue on. Maybe there's some gems in here yet. At Stage 13, we do not subscribe to a one-size-fits-all approach to creating content. Interesting choice of words there. We curate multicultural, intentional, and intersectional storytelling at all levels. Gee, I wonder what went wrong. I wonder why Stage 13 could not survive past 5 years. Interesting. This means actively shape-shifting alternative formats, genres, IP, business, and production models to maximize storytelling opportunities. The most exciting and critical part of our mission is meeting dynamic storytellers from all walks of life. From the first day we launched in 2017, this has been built into our ethos. As our mission notes, we are united by a mindset, not an age, gender, race, or orientation. What's the mindset? The mindset is to show off intersectional storytelling by focusing on age, gender, race, and orientation. Pretty words from pretty mouths ring hollow when your actions are completely contradictory to what you say. We encourage creators to unapologetically be themselves. And this is reflected in our storytelling and production approach. Again, business model failed you. As an industry, we must connect with consumers and tell their stories in an authentic and specific, yet universal way in order to remain relevant. You cannot have both. You cannot have an authentic and specific storytelling approach, yet universal way. This is a niche. These are universal themes. This is a niche. These are universal, human, transcendent, soulful things that all humans will experience simply because we are human. You cannot have both. You can tell an authentic story that speaks to humanity, and you can tell a specific story that is authentic, but the chances of you telling a specific story that is authentic and factual and still reaches that universal method that you guys are applying to it, not me, but you, it's not going to work. You cannot take niche storytelling and shove it down the throats of millions. It doesn't work like that. And just to show you exactly what they mean by universal, by design, representation in front of and behind the camera has been nearly 100% diverse. BIPOC, female, LGBTQAI+. While our current season has 100% BIPOC female representation in the writer's room and an all-female LGBTQIA+ executive producing team. It's so gratifying to see the outstanding results that are possible when everyone on the team is focused on creating the right opportunities and infrastructure for creators to succeed. Boom. Again. You focused on the wrong thing. This is what you meant. You said it was by design. You focused on this. Nearly 100% diverse. You don't get to blame white males for this. This isn't their fault. You designed this way. When it didn't pan out, you had to pay the piper. And you couldn't put your money where your mouth was. They view us as consumers. She views us as consumers. Together across this industry, we must shepherd projects of all shapes and sizes, nurture voices of varying experiences and origins, and cultivate a new generation of storytellers who authentically speak to the hearts and minds of quickly evolving audiences. The future is here, and we must seize the moment. Seized it right into utter failure and complete shutdown within 5 years. That is where your intersectionality and your by design representation got you. Now all of these people are out of a job because instead of focusing on storytelling, instead of focusing on delivering entertainment, you cared about age, gender, race, and orientation. This is who was leading Stage 13. This is who drove it into the ground. And who did she shepherd? Well, let's see. Some names down here that you're going to recognize, and the interconnectedness and intersectionality is going to start making a whole lot of sense. The why do all of these shows sound and look the same is about to make a whole lot of sense. Witcher's Bola Ogun and Queen Sugar's Stacey Muhammad are two things I really want you to focus on. Now, The Witcher made quite a splash, Season 1 more so than Season 2. I think just about everybody can agree on that. The magical world of Bola Ogun. Meet Bola Ogun, a first-generation Nigerian American, a Dallas native. Wait a minute. What? Who is on one heck of a ride through Hollywood. Since her arrival to LA in 2007, Ogun has managed to become a part of the wave, pushing Hollywood to finally bring us more genres from underrepresented perspectives. It's one of those by design representation things going on. After almost a decade of working in the industry for other productions and inspired by the lack of genre entries by women at various film festivals, she was determined to chart her own path as a filmmaker. Alright, well, maybe there was a lack of genre entries by women simply because there was not that much interest for women to submit original work, perhaps? I don't know. Usually when we break these things down, it's not because women were not allowed to, it's simply that they didn't want to. But let's carry on and see what Ogun has to say for us. Here starts something that this author would like to call the Bola Ogun mystical industrial complex, telling her stories that continue making space for the worlds that need to be brought to screen from the minds of marginalized voices was born. This woman's been in Hollywood since 2007. I don't know how many of you can math, but that's about 15 years. Which means her voice should be echoing through Hollywood pretty profoundly. Let's go ahead and take a look. The Water Phoenix follows the story of Anya, a mermaid who falls out of love with a human after he confines her to life at an aquarium. Ah, evil male. Short film, which began her exploration into world of directing, is noted not only for its complexity due to Ogun having to take scuba diving lessons and wearing a customized tail for the film. Oh no, you mean you had to put in effort and work for a film? Who would have thought? But most notably for the mermaid being played by Ogun herself. A black mermaid! Uh-oh. Disney, you're in trouble. You didn't have the first black mermaid. You should take care of that. Just saying. How dare you, a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate corporation, usurp this honor from Ogun, even though Disney also had a black mermaid in their animated stories way back in the day. But you know, semantics. It was this short film that caught the attention of Ava Duvernay that landed her the first TV directorial debut on Queen Sugar. Oh, so Ogun was also involved with Queen Sugar, which happens to be Stacey Muhammad as well. So we're seeing the loop. Are we seeing the self-closing loop? And also, here's a name, Ava Duvernay. Why does that sound familiar? What is that name? Could it be, if you've watched any of Heel vs. Babyface and Jane Theory review the series Naomi, that name rings a bell, and that it got canceled after one season. Just one. Because I believe, if I'm going to quote directly, it would be from Az of Heel vs. Babyface. Utter garbage. Flaming trash. We've gone from the senior VP, all the way to the magical world of Ogun, and she was attached to Ava DuVernay, and now we're at Ava DuVernay's Naomi series. Like, what could be a root thought process among all of these? Because we've gone from intersectional design representation in front of and behind the cameras with 100% diversity, and intersectional storytelling, and multidimensionalism, and marginalized voices speaking up and telling their stories. And now we have Ava DuVernay. Well, what would be Ava DuVernay's thought process on all of that? Oh, a stinging rebuke of toxic masculinity, a revision by female storytellers that finds new ways to break oppressive patterns. Hashtag Queen Sugar. Oh, so Ava DuVernay is also on the Queen Sugar train. Interesting. Very interesting. I talked to Ava and Philip Humans about Burning Cane, the 19-year-old filmmaker's directorial debut and commentary on the intersection of toxic masculinity, alcoholism, and religion. We need to abandon the toxic spaces that do not serve us and create new spaces that nourish us. Ava. Quoting her from the Gloria Awards, I guess. So, I guess we pretty much figured out where Ava lines up on all of this. I can't imagine why this singular mindset, this united mindset, failed them I cannot understand why Stage 13 wouldn't survive 5 years of this united mindset, which is misandry cloaked as victimhood, in case anybody was wondering. Well, someone over there at Warner Discovery is starting to make decisions that are solid business plan decisions that can lay some kind of future, and it's going to get rough. We already know that. Clearly, heads are not just rolling at Warner Brothers. CNN is seeing it too. This is from July, so this is from months ago that we're seeing these changes happen. Zaslav is taking no prisoners. He has a goal, he has a mission, he has a plan. He wants this to go back to appeal for the masses. We've seen a lot of upheaval at CNN since this article came out. So, this is going to be a very interesting thing to witness. In fact, he also got upset back in May with Warner Brothers execs for greenlighting Clint Eastwood, and it was a flop, and they knew it was going to be a flop. Now, it was Cry Macho. During the meeting, studio heads acknowledged they doubted whether Cry Macho would be profitable, but they felt that they owed it to him, felt indebted to Eastwood because of the string of hits that he delivered over his 50-year career with studio. I mean, that's insane. 50 years of hits is great. Eastwood, 91, also had perfect record in getting films into the can on time and never going over budget, studio honchos told their new boss. That's probably because he doesn't believe in second takes. If you know anything about Clint Eastwood, he doesn't believe in second takes. First take, you wrap it up and you go. So hopefully you nail it. But Zaslav was unimpressed, and according to the Journal, he told his underlings that they didn't owe favors to anyone. Then reportedly quoted famous line from 96 Tom Cruise hit film Jerry Maguire, "It's not show friends, it's show business," Zaslav is reported to have told them. So he is really, really going for the jugular here. In his first 6 weeks at the helm of the newly merged entity, Zaslav has not been afraid to make bold moves for the sake of belt tightening. Guys, he's admitting these companies, these mega corporations do not have money to blow. This virtue signaling vanity project self-inserts are done. At least from Warner Brothers. He's not joking. Zaslav is done. They don't have the money to throw around at this anymore. This isn't something that they can afford to do. And when we look at all the intersectionalism that is going on and all of the interconnectedness that's going on, no wonder all of these things are failing. They're all the same. It's one united mindset of misandry and hatred. How could you possibly deliver something your audience is going to love when you hate your audience? It is simply not possible. Zaslav is doing what he needs to do to make sure that the company survives. He's making business decisions. He's looking at the data. He's not ignoring it. He's not getting biased opinions from it. And he's not pushing a product or a program until they get the answer that they're looking for, usually from paid shills. Let me know what you think. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for stopping by. I genuinely greatly appreciate you. If you hung around this long, it means the world to me. You all are fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless. Godspeed. Have a good one. Much love to all.